Hello, everybody. My name is Jonathon Fessenden, and I am with WCAT Radio. Pleasure to be here today, and I have it looks like I have some men of the cloth. You guys want to introduce yourself? I have Deacon Mike up here, and Father Patrick. Let's hear a little bit about you, Mike, first.
My name is Deacon Mike Plese. It's Plese. I am a deacon in the Diocese of Nashville. I was ordained in the Diocese of Joliet in Illinois. And you might know a certain bishop by the name of Bishop Barron, who went to my high school. I didn't get to meet him when I was in school, but we did meet at a convocation just a couple months after I was ordained in 2016. But I had since moved to Tennessee from Illinois about 3.5 years ago, and I got incarnated into the Diocese of Nashville. So here I am. And Father, let's hear about you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sure. I'm Father Patrick Resen, a priest of the Diocese of Knoxville. I retired 3 years ago this month, or the end of this month, and moved back to the city of my boyhood, El Paso, Texas.
Oh, that's great. Well, I appreciate you guys being here. And my name is Jonathon Fessenden. I run a site called Missio and my platform has 4,000 subscribers. So I said, hey, you know what? Why don't I shoot out a nice email about your guys' pilgrimage? And maybe you can get some people involved, right? So let's talk about it. The reason I'm doing this interview, I guess, today is you have a pilgrimage you're going to? Where's it at?
Go ahead, Deacon Mike.
This pilgrimage that we are embarking on in just a few short months. We're going to Ireland, and then this particular one has an option for those that may or may not have been to Scotland. They can opt not to go to Scotland, or if you want to continue on for 3 more days, you can add that on to the trip. So it's really kind of a nice option to have, with it. So, and I'll have to tell you, I've never been to Ireland or Scotland, so this will be a new experience for me. But it's a good thing we have an Irish priest traveling with us, don't we?
Where's the first stop? Are you guys you're going to Ireland first?
Ireland first, and then the 3-day add-on to Scotland would be at the tail end for those that want to continue on.
Nice. Yeah. After all the fun in Ireland, you don't know if they're going to make it. That's enough. That's enough for me. I'm going home.
Well, Catholics have been going from Ireland to Scotland for a long time.
Yeah.
I always say we gave the Scots the 3 things they're best noted for, which is whiskey, and Christianity, and the bagpipes, but they didn't get the joke about the bagpipes.
Whiskey, Christianity, and the bagpipes, huh? Oh, geez. I like how you put whiskey number 1, by the way.
No, it's the water of life, right?
Yeah,
literally.
I can't turn one down.
Well, in Tennessee, we're no strangers to whiskey.
Yeah.
Right.
What are some of the areas that you'll be going to in Ireland? What are some of the spots you're going to be visiting?
Well, there's, as with most pilgrimages, there's a lot that we're going to be seeing. We're going to start out by going to Moher and seeing the cliffs. I've seen pictures, but I probably am certain they do not do them justice. They rise, I think, over 700 feet from the ocean floor. So, the neat thing about pilgrimages is sure we immerse ourselves in the religious and the faith aspect of our Catholicism, but
yeah,
we don't just do that. We have sites where we see the awesome beauty that God created as well. So we'll see those cliffs. We'll see the medieval castle from the 1400s in the village of, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing
Peninsula
this.
and the Ring of Kerry.
Kerry, we're going to see a tour of the Muckross House,
Right.
Dingle Peninsula,
Galway.
some quaint coastal villages. I mean, there's just going to be so much to see. I guess we're going to see infamous Irish pub by the name of Dirty Nelly's.
Yes.
It doesn't
Just
say on the
imagine
itinerary if we're going to actually go in and eat at Dirty Nelly's, but it just says we're going to see it. So I don't know
imagine
what that
how
means.
dirty it must have been. Huh? Because in those days, everyone was dirty. And if they singled her out as dirty, she must have really been.
Wow.
But I've eaten there before, and it's not bad. Bunratty Castle. It's right near Bunratty Castle, near Shannon.
Now,
And,
Father, they spell dirty D-U-R-T-Y. Is there a significance?
U-R-T-Y. Well, remember, Irish wasn't a written language till the English got there to screw it up. So that's why you have such strange spellings. They could have just Romanized it, as has been done with most languages. But this Englishman who did it was particularly fond of G's and H's and using 6 letters when one would have sufficed. So it's one more evil inflicted by the Brits on the Irish. So you can never count on spelling. But I've been to Ireland many times. I've been on one prior pilgrimage, very small one. I'm an Irish citizen, and I certainly look forward to getting back there. I pray for Ireland frequently, given what's happened over the past 20 or 30 years on many levels with the faith. But there's a strong resurgent movement still. And I like what Mike said about the fact that we'll do religious things, of course. I mean, we're going to Knock, obviously, the great pilgrimage center of Ireland. But we have a good time too. I usually tell the pilgrims, look, you can play and pray too. They're not exclusive. You can have a good time.
Absolutely.
You're right. Yeah, I mean, you can have a penitential pilgrimage, but this is not a penitential pilgrimage. We're not going in sackcloth and ashes and barefoot. Oh,
darn it.
Well, we can make an exception for you, Jonathon, if you'd like to come along. You can run alongside the bus.
I might do that, yeah. I went on a pilgrimage in 2019, went to the Holy Land. I went with a bunch of church friends and a choir and everything. And I don't think I don't think I would take another vacation in a different way, meaning the pilgrimages are the best. Being with all the people on the bus, and it's so much more than just a vacation. I mean, it's a community, it's a union. You guys are celebrating mass probably in the mornings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. You breakfast, you share, and you're around like-minded people.
Yes,
exactly. And to your point, it wasn't on my radar to do Ireland, to organize a trip to Ireland this year. But last fall, when Father Patrick and I had this group in Italy, we were flying on our way back home, and we connected through Chicago, but a significant part of our group was flying back to Chicago, so they were finishing up their trip. We weren't even off the plane yet when one of my group says, "So where are we going next year?" So,
oh, absolutely. I felt the same way. Yeah, no, absolutely.
So it was really at that point they reached out to me and they said, "Hey, if you can do Ireland in September, we'll do it. We'll sign up and we'll get together again." And here we are. So
you guys are going in September then?
correct. Yes.
What are the dates?
September 20th to October 2nd, if you add on the 3-day Scotland.
Wow, that's going to be a good trip.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you really can't go wrong going to Europe in September or October.
No.
The weather's going to be nice.
You have a link and everything to where people can sign up, and they can put their credit cards freely on there and not feel stressed.
Yeah, I mean, I have that information. We'll get that to you,
Yeah,
and
great. Great.
I won't be handling any of the money. They don't trust the deacon, I guess. But
Yeah. Well,
deacon's always got his hand in the cookie jar somewhere.
did you guys use a Catholic travel agency or did yeah?
Yeah,
Yes,
Jonathan, I'm a sales rep for Proximo Travel. So
Oh, okay. Oh, great. Well, there you go.
yeah.
exactly. So it is my job to sign clergy up to actually, chaplain these pilgrimage groups. So Father Patrick has been very generous and he's been helping me out on a couple occasions.
Wow. Yeah, you have to send me some information as well. I'd like to maybe look into something like that through my site. And
Absolutely. And I'm doing Italy in October too, if you want to double up.
I love that one. That's great.
Well, it's tough to beat Italy. Certainly you can't beat it for the food. You can't beat it for the art and architecture and the history. Not that there isn't a tremendous amount of Catholic history in so many places, but Italy is sort of a concentration since the Vatican is there, and so much to see. The art, it can literally be overwhelming, and I mean that literally. They say half the art in Europe is in Italy, and 2/3 of the art in Italy is in Florence. So we'll be going there again in October. Rome, Assisi, Orvieto, Florence, and Venice. But I'm really excited about Ireland because I haven't been there in about 10 years, and so I want to see what's happened. I've been impressed what the rector at Knock has been able to do. He's somewhat limited by the new basilica, which I'm not a fan of at all. But the old church where the apparitions occurred is very, very beautiful. And they've done a wonderful thing. They put a glass wall in the back so that you can, even if you can't get into church or if Mass is going on, you can look right into where the statues are, which replicate the apparitions, and the grounds too. He's improved. It's become a focal point for the grandparents movement, which is slowly gaining traction. Pope Francis has talked about grandparents recently, and others are. Grandparents are even more important, perhaps, in some ways than they used to be because so many families are broken. The grandparents have a greater role for children, even raising children, of course, in many communities. But Ireland's beautiful. The people are lovely. The food is much improved. That's another infliction of the British, was teaching the Irish to cook like the Brits. But there are now 3 major international culinary academies in Ireland. And of course, it's an island surrounded by fishing. Until recently, the last few decades, there was not the infrastructure, the roads or anything to transport seafood. But now, of course, there is. So you can get wonderful seafood all over the country. And just driving through Ireland is quite delightful too.
Yeah. How long have you been in the States, or when did you come from Ireland? I should ask, Father.
Oh, I wasn't born there.
Okay.
I was born here. I became a citizen under the Irish Nationality and Citizenship Act of, I think, 54, sometimes known as the John Huston Act. John Huston, the director and actor, and his father, Walter Huston, the actor. His daughter, Angelica, loved horses, wanted to have horses in the west of Ireland, and then in what they call the Gaeltacht, where Irish was spoken until recently as the primary language, you had to be an Irish citizen. So he was not. So the act allows those who are born in Ireland are Irish citizens, as here. If your parents were born in Ireland, you're a citizen, as here, the same. But what's unusual is that if one of your grandparents was born in Ireland, you can petition for Irish citizenship and be granted it. So that's how I obtained mine, because on the questionnaire it says, why do you want citizenship? And I said, well, I always thought I was Irish, so I thought I'd make it official, coming originally from the south side of Chicago. Back then St. Sabina's Parish, which is not so Irish anymore, but was very Irish in those days.
Well, there's still plenty of Irish in the south side of Chicago, though.
There are indeed, yeah.
It's not an area I'm very familiar with. I didn't grow up in that area. I grew up in Florida and California, so I missed the. Well, and Ohio.
What part of California?
Oh, really? Do we? Los Angeles.
Well, as a former San Franciscan, I feel sorry for you. It's okay.
Yeah, well, greatest move of my life, actually, because it did bring me back into the Catholic Church.
Ah, wonderful.
Yeah, I was, kind of out on the skirts there when I moved there, and that place turned me around because it scared me so much.
Scared straight. Huh?
Yeah, yes, it did. It brought me back. It said, "Well, I need God back in my
You must
life."
have been hanging around East LA.
I wasn't over there too much, but yeah. Well, it's been great talking with you guys. Is there anything else you want me to discuss about the trip? This is really wonderful.
The one thing I would say, Mike, I'll let you have the last word, but one thing I would say that I tell potential pilgrims is what I particularly like about Proximo is that they take smaller groups, so that many groups will only take 22 or 26 or more, whereas Proximo will go with much fewer. And you bond, as you said, it becomes sort of a family. You bond more quickly. You get to know each other better. You share things more easily, whether it's at a meal or whatever. So that's one of my favorite things, and why I usually am chaplain with Proximo.
So where are you guys capping off the number at?
Edinburgh, right?
They don't put an upper limit on it. We'll take
for numbers. Yeah.
Right. They usually aim for at least 10 people, to make it happen. But
wow, that's a pretty good lower number too. Wow, that's nice.
I mean, obviously we'd like more than that, but
of course, yeah.
The first trip I went on in 2019 was an Israel trip, and we only had around 10 to 12. And and they had some pilgrims that met up with us for one part of the trip, and they kind of can adjust things on the fly like that, which is nice. This past week, I had a couple people reach out to me about this trip, and they said, "Well, are we going to have an opportunity to golf?" And I said, "Well, we're going to Scotland." And so there's a certain St. Andrews that's pretty well known in the PGA circles. So I think the course is called Old St. Andrews, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm not sure. But there is time going to be set aside for optional 18 holes of golf, if that's what people are interested in.
That sounds fun. Jeez.
For those like me who only miniature golf, there's going to be shopping.
Oh, I thought you were going to say whiskey because you were, I thought. Not too much.
This deacon doesn't drink except on Sunday.
I guess I'm hanging out with Father Patrick on this one.
I guess I'll have to pick up the slack.
Yeah. Well, hey guys, it was really great talking. Like I said, we'll be promoted. I'll promote it on my site. We'll get the word out there, and yeah.
Jonathan, I think it was a sign, because I just got this in the mail today from the Tennessee Register. Pilgrims of Hope.
Wow.
It's about the Eucharistic pilgrimage, and I just got this week, this Deacon magazine, Graces of Pilgrimage. That was the main story. So I think it's a sign. I think,
it might be. It's funny because we have a book from our site, which is on, here it is. Oh, it's right over here. It's called The Eucharistic Revival. My website, some of the writers put this book together, and I edited it with Philip Hayden. And yeah, speaking, you reminded me when it said the Eucharistic revival. This is the year, right?
Yeah, I had a third publication as well that mentioned pilgrimage. So I think people are starting to get the travel itch again. You know, we've come out of COVID, and people want to travel to different places, and we will be stopping at the famous Blarney Castle, Father. I don't know if you've kissed the stone.
I do not.
Okay.
I don't know what that is.
Well,
Blarney.
but the consistent rumor is what they do to it at night. So I won't kiss it.
Let's just leave it at that.
Right.
That's a good way to end it.
Well, I enjoy speaking with you guys, and please keep me posted. We can, push some more out, get the stuff out there and try to get some people on this trip.
Well, Jonathon, I think the obvious answer is you should sign up for the pilgrimage, and then you'll be able to do firsthand reporting.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely look at that. I want to go for sure. I have not been to Ireland, so I'm very much interested in this trip.
Great.
Okay. Well, you'd be a good advocate.
All right. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you, Jonathon.
Wonderful
Thanks,
to have
Jonathan.
you here today, and God bless.
All right. Take care.
Yeah.
Okay, take care.
Bye-bye.